live right now. So yeah, Miguel, your
Whatever
turn.
works.
Yes, everything is worse. Miguel, the stage is yours. Go ahead.
So we'd like to, well, first of all, on behalf of the Future Is Now Media Group, to thank, of course, the organizers for creating Digital Week online. It's a great idea to support the movement of the disruptive tech industry, which is taking people, communities, and evidently innovators online during this COVID-19 situation. And I'd like to speak today dwell deep into the rabbit hole of the importance of decentralized media when it comes to future human evolution. Because to be quite honest with you, with the COVID-19 situation, we've seen an incredible push against just free narrative, or a narrative that doesn't fit with the status quo, whatever that may be. A lot of decentralized media, I'm talking about dollar vigilante Jeff Berwick, who has been a Bitcoin maximalist and a contributor to the Bitcoin movement and crypto overall, who we've met with in Lieberland on Lieberland's third anniversary, I believe, in Serbia in 2018. People like Crypto Zombie YouTube channel who've been shadow banned, and users were unable to subscribe, just for simply either sharing information in regards to Bitcoin and the halvening, or sharing information in regards to the current economic situation and the roots of the COVID pandemic. And so a lot of that has sort of trickled me to really drive forward as a part of the YouTube community, as a part of decentralized media community, with our decentralized media portal, the Future Is Now .community, and our two visual products, which is the Future Is Now film series, documentary film series, which has kind of been halted because of this whole COVID-19 thing, as we used to travel the world and bring the viewer right deep into the mix of these awesome conferences. And the Future Is Now Digest, which is now our sort of on-the-go, one-on-one interview format, which happens virtually. And here with the Digital Week Online, we decided to partner up and create an after film that will combine the recorded footage from this week's conference with some of the roaming crypto anarchist footage that we have throughout the 3 years that we've been traveling the world and covering all kinds of conferences, from Hong Kong to Ibiza to San Francisco, and bringing that in a new format as a B2B after film and a marketing product for our viewers. And for those who don't really know what this product is and what we've been doing, is essentially we've been creating a narrative that we are trying to propel for the development of the blockchain, AI, and disruptive fintech industries. And I would like to quickly put on and go through a presentation here. Let me see if I can share screen it really quick. Let's see, I'm going to start. Okay, so it says that my share screening is disabled by the host.
Wait a second.
Yes, I think you need to enable my
share. Is it enabled now?
Let's try. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's see how well this. Can you? What can you see now?
The future is now. We see it. All the future is now in the field series. Everything is
great.
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's start with just some of the basics of the concept. And the concept behind our visual marketing and visual scaling product, which is the Future Is Now film series, is about emotions and feelings, and that these are the connecting tools between people, concepts, communities, industries, and we've been pushing that decentrally after actually working for a centralized media source. And it started, with people like Larry King that we've met at Toronto's Blockchain Futurist conference in 2018, who, gave us great allegories and analogies on the importance of being on the right side of technological advancement and being on the right side of technology and where it's going. With things like, why do we have war? He said, the war is dumb. We have our tabloid stories, the Trumps, the Hollywood celebrities, who she slept with, and all that's fine, but we have to look to better things in life. And this is Larry King visiting his first blockchain conference in Toronto in 2018, the famous journalist, and beyond. And these are the kind of stories that we try to bring forth, because it's all about the problem, reaction, and solution. And even though this presentation is fairly old, it's at least a year old, but it totally fits with what we're seeing with COVID and what we're seeing with the current media techniques, if you will, mainstream media techniques. It's always a problem, there's a reaction, and there's a solution, right? So when we were creating our decentralized media group and its visual products, we always considered the fact that why should someone no different than you and I be in control of our destiny? How do we break the dogma of this matrix? And for us, it was decentralization, obviously. It was the concept of creating an equal opportunity viewpoint vehicle that is not created by the likes of Vice News or by the likes of Netflix or, all these mediums that always try to win you over with the hype, the negative hype, either that, Bitcoin is a scam. You should be afraid of Bitcoin. You should be afraid of blockchain, right? Because that's what the mainstream news source is brainwashing us with. And now we're seeing a small break with decentralized blockchain technologies kind of creeping into the government, era, if you will, right? And this is of course quite visible indeed. John McAfee in 2018 at the Malta Blockchain Summit said that in 5 years' time, everyone on this planet will be using cryptocurrency. And those who don't are the people who don't have access to the internet. Little did we know back then that we would be coerced into giving up that technology to the centralized banking sources. Now we have the US digital dollar coming into play. We have the European, the Bank of France, just finished hiring, by the way. It was up until May 20th. For about a month, they had a petition on the website asking people to come on board of the Bank of France to create the digital franc, right? So centralized bodies and centralized banks are looking for ways to benefit from the development of these technologies that we've been creating for so long here in the space. Vicente Fox, former president of Mexico, from our episode at the forum in the Blockchain Economic Forum in Singapore, said this technology has revolutionized his understanding of the banking world, the financial world, that we must deregulate. We must support this technology as a way for great social ventures and eradication of poverty, really. Guy Kawasaki, another interesting cat that we've had the opportunity to speak to, one of the first evangelists of the Macintosh computer. He completely does not believe in crypto. He says, if I build a phone, I create value. Speaking about the Apple phone, I get paid for that value. What do I do here? I take my crypto to the bank? That is bullshit. And that was exact words that he used. And this is, of course, interesting because we are trying to bring different views and different polemics here into the world of disruptive tech and its future progress. Miko Mutsumura, founder of Evercoin Exchange at the Malta ABC Summit 2019, said, right now it's interesting, and this completely makes sense as we see this onslaught of centralized powers trying to grab the blockchain industry and grab the crypto minds into their grasp right now. Miko said this about a year ago, that they're measuring the trust in Bitcoin, these institutionals. The fact that it's rising means that these institutionals don't trust the governments, not as much as they do Bitcoin. And it's a fear-driven aspect where the professionals are trying to find a safe harbor. They're looking at digital gold as maybe just one sort of Sharpe ratio-based asset exposure. And a small chunk of that, when you look at the global fortunes of the world, can actually move the needle in the price of Bitcoin and create the next bull run. And we see the proof of these words that Miko said a year ago with, for example, Paul Tudor recently announcing his coming into the crypto world.
Miguel, please, a little bit accelerate. We have a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes, unfortunately.
Really? I thought we had 20 minutes for this.
15. I'm sorry, 15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, well, so it goes beyond fear and confusion. Cambridge Associates did give the go-ahead very quietly. This was around last summer, right, where one of the biggest institutional investment authorities on the inside essentially gave the go-ahead to move 30 points into Bitcoin for many different institutions, like the top family offices, to finally go into Bitcoin. And again, these are some of the things that we bring to the forefront for analysis in our educative B2B after films in regards to the industry. And it's interesting because email didn't ask for the post office for permission. Email just arrived and knocked the post office out of the league, with email, because it was just that much faster than the post. This is the same thing that we're witnessing with blockchain technology. It is heavily making its way with Microsoft adopting blockchains, with IBM, with all these sort of controlling corporations adopting this technology. And that's the predicament that we have now. It came from two guys and a dog, as Tim Draper once pointed out to us, sitting in a garage trying to figure out how to make the world better, right? And giving that embetterment room is very important. But again, right now we're at a crossroads where there is no guarantee that these two guys and a dog and their technology are going to be used for an actual embetterment of society, freedom-enabling technology that is going to be uncensored, decentralized, and truly unique. And, right now we're doing what we can, all of us, right? Because like some very experienced thought leaders in the space like Carlo Marie Vella believe that it's all about marketing, right? It's pure and truly marketing for mass adoption. Reach the people and there will be mass adoption. We saw a spark of that with Libra. Right now, we're continuing a spark of that as a hedge against the S&P 500 with the crypto market sort of on the rise. And again, it's all about actually building these technologies instead of talking about them. So that's why it's very important also to focus on actually developing the tech. And we're going to disrupt the systems, and we each have to contribute. This is important, but we all have to remember that we cannot sell our souls to these centralized corporate entities right now. Otherwise, this whole dream, this whole space is going to diminish in the next 2 years. I can guarantee you that. Michael Turpin pointed out a great fact just about half a year ago. They said the internet will never work. In 1995, 24 years ago, Newsweek wrote a piece saying how the internet was a joke and no one is going to use it to redefine a publication like Newsweek on a computer. Yet Newsweek print edition is out of business for many years now, and there's 4 billion people on the internet. They said no one will trust the internet with their financials. So when the credit card companies fixed the security issues with card payments, that was done. They said no one can do anything. Google fixed that. People can search and find everything now. They said you don't know anyone. Well, Facebook fixed that. Bill Gates once said people and companies overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. The industry is in that place, but the one important factor that Bill Gates missed is that this industry aims to be decentralized. And that's where the locus of control currently, I believe, is based on a lie. This is something we've gathered from Brandon Sint, the founder of Skycoin, that we're going to have to change the locus of control from corporations like Google, Yahoo, YouTube, and Twitter. And the focus is going to shift from these centralized corporations back down to the community and to individual level, as we see with BitChute, Library, Voice, other blockchain-enabled social media networks and video hosting networks that can fight that censorship that we're actually going through now. And this is going to be disruptive, but Sint believes that it's going to lead to almost a civil war, because there's going to be no peaceful transition to this without violence. And we're seeing that again being proven 6 months down the line, actually maybe a little more now, with COVID-19, right? Creating this upheaval of censorship, this upheaval of controlling mechanisms popping out, like Mi Pasa, like ID 2020, using blockchain, IBM sponsoring these things, Microsoft sponsoring these things, centralized.
Yeah, Miguel, I'm so sorry, so we have to wrap up.
I'm almost done. So why are you playing this game is the main question, right? It's all about how you choose to play the game. What are the reasons you're doing this? To make a quick buck, or to leave a world for your children that will be better than the one you founded as you grew into an adult? We're evolving with technologies at hand, and this is the cyberlution. This is the future, and the future is now. And this is what we do as the Future is Now Media and Consulting Group, where we try to create exclusive media. We try to share that media and spread that through our marketing campaigns for our partners and clients. And also we try to work on strategy and consulting with those that need, and that stay true to this goal of truly decentralizing and spreading that technology, that magical seed, into this field of magical technologies that Bitcoin has given way to. An important thing right now, we truly believe here at the Future is Now, is to stay decentralized, is not to sell your soul, but to work together, support one another, and create a better future, so we can explore space, so we can clean the oceans, and so we can actually use the technology to truly better the human lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, Miguel.
Really appreciate it, yeah? Ivan, now you can go off from the YouTube channel. Yes, and we are welcome our next speaker, Bruce Porter. Miguel, I want to say you goodbye. Nice to meet you here again. Yes, it's my pleasure to have you.
Yes, what's up, Bruce?
Yes, all the people are around. All the distinguished people get listed on your presentation as well here. Bruce,
it's your turn right now.
Oh, I'm talking away. All right, so now I'm unmuted. I'm live.
You're not on live yet, but please turn on your camera. Please turn
on your camera, please.
I'm turning on. It says you cannot start the video because the host has stopped it. So you're gonna have to start my video. Oh,
yeah, I'm starting right now.
All right, fantastic.
Perfect.
Hey, well, thank you guys very much.
Wait a second, please. We are
going live. Yeah.
Just wait a second, please. Second.
We're about to go live.
Yes. Now we are going live.
I'm live on Periscope too, so.
Okay. Now we are on. Go ahead.
And we're live. Coming
yes.
In DC, really appreciate you guys setting this up for everybody. This Digital Week Online, what a great platform! Gosh, you guys really got everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
So we are so it's like non-stop marathon at this moment.
Yeah. I was looking down the list, and someone tagged me on LinkedIn, George Sebastio or something. And he had a list of speakers, and then another list, and then another list, and another list. So it's really cool. I know we've all been kind of through this lockdown and through this coronavirus. Hopefully we're coming out on the other end. And, I myself took a bit of a hiatus, working behind the scenes, of course, doing certain things. But I really am looking forward to getting back on the roadshow again. I don't know when that's going to be, but I am looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So yeah, Bruce, go ahead. So with your presentation, if you have some slides to share, so please share.
Fantastic. So I put together some slides, but I think I'll just roll with it and kind of give an update. The title of my speech is Investing in Blockchain for All Mankind. For those of you that know me, and I have a lot of course, my friends that are watching right now on Periscope and Twitter, and of course on your feed as well, do a lot of work with people. We're very people-oriented. We throw the conferences. Global Boost is the company that throws the Washington Elite Summit. We've done 5 of those. We most recently did the castles, the palaces of Vienna. We had the VIP portion was absolutely amazing. We were in Schönbrunn for the summit, and then we were in the Hofburg Palace for the VIP portion. And of course, we have an agreement to do charitable work with the Archduke of Austria that Global Boost and Packcoin and him went into in Vienna early last year. Last year it was really a heck of a year, and we had a really good time. But one of the things over the last few years that I've always talked about and always really pushed is investing in blockchain for philanthropic work for all mankind. And, you can see even what we did recently. You can go look at my Twitter feed, Networks Manager or Global Boost or Washington Elite. But we were able to put together a delivery of hundreds of thousands of N95 masks to people, hospitals all over the East Coast of the United States. And it was something very special. And that's something that the blockchain community has made happen. All the traveling, all the philanthropic work, everything kind of came together. Binance reached out to me, as a matter of fact, to help them source the mask, and I was able to do that and help them do that. And my one caveat was, of course, I wanted the veterans to have some of the masks, and of course they agreed, and they were totally on board with that. And we delivered them to the Red Cross at Walter Reed, and then of course the Red Cross does all types of other things in order to put those masks into the different spots where they're needed. And they got them to the DCVA and to different some guys that are active duty, and they're going to use them also to put them on veterans and other people when they come in the hospital to keep everybody safe. And so that's an amazing thing that was we were able to put together. And there's a bit of a culture war right now, right, with the mask or not mask or this and that and the other. Delivering these to the hospitals. And of course, they need them mask, no mask, whatever your feeling is about that. And so that's a really special thing. Now, blockchain is, it's taken me all over the world. We started the Global Boost blockchain. It's a proof of work coin, 6 years old almost, 6 years old in September. It really is an amazing thing that we started. And we were before Ethereum, so we didn't raise any money. Most of our work has been supporting the veterans. We do all types of work with blind hockey, teaching blind veterans to ice skate, teaching them how to play hockey. Every year, we didn't do it this year because, of course, with the COVID outbreak, we didn't feel like it was a good thing to do. But we take all the guys to Lake Placid and gals to Lake Placid, New York. We play hockey on the Olympic Center, and then, of course, we go ahead and take them all down on the bobsled, which is pretty cool. So those are the kind of things that we're able to do. I don't know if I lost my screen for you guys. You might want to check that. I'm seeing a guy here. I know I'm good on my YouTube, but so that's the type of stuff that you can do. We have a fiat monetary system. And the fiat monetary system, they're printing these dollar bills like nothing else. The Fed's digitally printing them, buying the bonds and everything else. And then, of course, we're actually even printing the money and putting it out there. And that, I just think, and I think most people would agree with me, that has to, in the end, have an effect on the inflation of the US dollar bills. And if you look at that, then you want to think, well, all right, people say, well, I want to save my money. Well, you may want to diversify. And if you listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Miguel actually just mentioned him as well, but he's been advocating buy silver, buy gold, buy Bitcoin. And the reason is that there's a finite supply, and you can't just print more gold, and you can't print more Bitcoins, and you can't print more Global Boost. That's one of the things. So our coin is BSTY. It's Global Boost, BSTY. We've always had that philanthropic, always had the philanthropic part of it. We started helping wounded veterans, and that's what we continue to do. And of course, we do all types of philanthropic work. We've planted trees in Nigeria, brought water to the people in Venezuela, and all those types of things. But it's that, I guess, and the type of person that it brings is also fairly interesting. So we have the blockchainers, you have a couple of different sects. Of course, you have maybe the crypto Twitter, which is kind of their own thing. You have the business guys, and the international, and we're libertarians. You can see, of course, one of our partners is Liberland. If you look at my networks manager feed on Twitter, you'll see that we've done some the work that we just did delivering the masks was partially with them. They were our partners in it. And Liberland is a country. I'm a citizen, and it's a libertarian. These libertarian ideals are really what blockchain stands for. It's less government, more power to the people. Reasons is with the Bitcoins and with the Global Boost and these other types of coins. Now it is a bit different. You have to be careful, because once you get into these different blockchains, they can freeze your coins and they can do all kinds of stuff. But if you're looking at an old blockchain, okay, one of the originals like Global Boost, Litecoin, Bitcoin, to even put us in there is all right. But I'm just saying, one of the blockchains, okay? Nobody can seize them, and they can't take them from you. They can't freeze your bank account. They can't do any of this stuff. And with the finite supply, if crap really does hit the fan, which it might. It really, really might. We're in a difficult situation by all stretches of the imagination. And if it really hits the fan, things that the government's going to keep printing money, because that's what they do, and the Fed and everything else, and they're going to keep printing money. And you can't print more these digital coins if you're on one of these old blockchains. So that's pretty interesting. A lot of development that we've done with Global Boost over the last little while. With our last Washington Elite Summit, we really started accepting the Global Boost a lot, the BSTY coins a lot, for different types of sponsorships and everything else. Probably should have been doing that the whole time. That was our 5th summit. Can't wait to start doing them again. We do have one softly planned for about 23 days. We'll see how it goes. Seems like that might be early, but we'll see. But there's also all types of other use cases that we're putting in here. We're growing the group in different parts of Africa, also Latin America, and these other places, and really making it where it's easy to use, where they can buy, they can charge up their phone data, or they can pay their electric bills. They can do all these types of things with the coins. And the more people that come on board with that, of course, the price of those goes up, and the more philanthropic work, of course, that we can do. The investing in blockchain for all mankind. How's my feed, guys? Am I doing all right?
Yeah, I think it's like 4 minutes to go. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I can talk for 4 minutes or 20 minutes. It doesn't matter, But it's a great way. The other thing about using blockchain for philanthropic work, investing for all mankind, is that we can track what's going on and where the dollars are going, and we can really have some accountability to what's going on. So it's a very special thing, and I know a lot of people, especially that I know, aren't really sure about it. And they don't know how to do it and everything else. And I'm going to give you a couple of URLs. I want you to check them out. Some ways that you can easily get some coins today. You don't have to buy anything, okay? One of them is you go to webminer.globalboost.info. So that's webminer.globalboost.info. Now, we just put this out today. It is beta, okay? But you don't have to download anything, and you can fill in the ports. You can come to t.me/global boost, all one word, and we will give you the right ports and everything to put in there. But you put that in there, and your computer will just mine for you, and you can get some digital coins, and you can participate in the online economy that easily. There's also, you can mine with your Android phone. That is one of the things that with our code, with this YesCrypt code that we brought to the space, we were the first to do it. There's about 30 coins now that use the code. We are still ASIC and GPU resistant. So we're going to be doing a lot more different, we're going to be doing a lot more charity work. You're going to see a lot more different things. I'll also be speaking tomorrow on Wealth Secrets, and I'll also be speaking for Liberland on June 13th. We have a bit of a conference that we're doing there. Liberland's another one, guys. I mean, we don't really know what the future holds here in the U.S. We don't know. Their future is unknown. And so I really think that hopping in on Liberland is very important and something that everybody should think about. So I think that, hey guys, I really appreciate it. It's absolutely fantastic what you guys are doing here. Digital.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, having the voice, and we'll keep tweeting you out there, and we'll get through all this, guys, and we'll be hitting the tour.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Thank you.
Awesome.
So, but you have an amazing team, so it's fine. It's fine.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, we can start now. So we will go live right now. So I will introduce you, and then so you can share your slides.
Sure. I think you can see the slides now, right?
Yes, definitely. So let me go live on YouTube, and
sure.
Okay, we are live now, and I'm here with Dave Chapman, Executive Director of BC Group and OSL. So Dave, your turn. So with your topic, Libra effect. So happy to see you here, and yeah, we met in Hong Kong many times. Great. So you can go ahead.
Thanks very much, Ivan. Really appreciate the time to be here, and thank you for the participants that have joined this morning, this evening, or in whatever time zone you're in. I'm very conscious of Zoom fatigue in a COVID-19 world. So thanks again. As Ivan stated, my name is Dave Chapman. I'm an executive director at BC Group. Prior to focusing full-time on the digital asset space, I was an investment banker, and I worked for the likes of HSBC, ABN AMRO, Credit Suisse, Barclays Capital, and a range of others. Upon discovering Bitcoin in 2013 and going down that rabbit hole, I left investment banking behind me alongside two business partners, and with an incredible team have been building successful businesses in the digital asset space ever since. BC Group is a fintech company. We're listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and it's the parent company to our digital assets subsidiary, namely called OSL. OSL is Asia's leading digital asset platform. Its core offering is institutional brokerage, exchange, custody services, all within the digital asset space, and servicing a non-retail demographic. Our typical counterparts are professional investors, high net worth individuals, funds, family offices, asset managers, investment and private banks. The team globally, we have around 150 staff. We have presences in Hong Kong, Singapore, Mexico, and the Philippines. But that's enough about me. Let's move on as to why you're with us today. Before we talk about Libra, which I'm here to talk to you about, let's certainly take a look at the state and the history of digital assets. In front of you, you see some of the major milestones for digital assets, beginning with the Satoshi white paper in 2008, and then, of course, the introduction of Bitcoin itself in 2009. We've come a significant way in the past 12 years, and we anticipate just as radical changes over the next decade. And if we take a look at digital assets, so first and foremost, what are we actually referring to when we use the term digital assets? The term digital assets originated in the mid-1990s, and it referred to items such as videos, audio, images, documentation. And things didn't really change much for the next 20 years until the introduction of Bitcoin and, of course, blockchain technology. This, in turn, enabled the creation of a range of new financial products and services. It allowed the birth of stablecoins, security tokens, central bank digital currencies, and whatnot. And it's these technological advances that have given the term digital assets a new and much broader definition. So for those that aren't very well initiated, let's just do a very quick refresher on digital assets as they're known today. So Bitcoin entered 11 years ago in 2009. It was the world's first truly decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Bitcoin was the first blockchain technology the world has ever seen, and it benefits from the first mover advantage. And it's the most thoroughly battle-hardened cryptocurrency to date. It currently maintains a 65% dominance in comparison to all of the cryptocurrencies combined. We have the wider crypto market. So whilst Bitcoin was first, there are now over 5,500 cryptocurrencies in circulation, with a combined market cap of around $250 billion US. This category includes well-known crypto brands such as Ethereum and Ripple. We believe that there's going to be a significant consolidation in the number of crypto initiatives that will continue to be supported, and thus many of these 5,500 tokens may well be essentially worthless in the near future. We had a phase that was very popular in 2017, 2018 with ICOs, or initial coin offerings, sometimes referred to as Kickstarter on steroids. Put very bluntly, there was no faster way to raise capital during this period than to perform an initial coin offering. It was also the primary driver as to why the entire crypto market pushed a market capitalization of almost $800 billion. That was before many of the projects and initiatives succumbed to non-delivery, project exits, scams, and fines and jail time for those that had blatantly ignored securities regulations. Which brings us on to our next digital asset, security token offerings, or digital securities. They're a form of tokenized digital form of traditional securities, such as real estate, venture capital, private equity, physical assets, hedge funds. It could really be anything. We believe that security tokens are going to play a significant part in the future of capital markets. Our next digital asset is stablecoins. So traditionally, stablecoins were crypto tokens designed to eliminate the volatility by backing it with an asset or a fiat currency that remains stable. For example, the US dollar. While stablecoins are commonplace in the crypto community, the term made much wider mainstream notice with the announcement of Libra last year. Libra is not strictly a cryptocurrency, as it does not operate on a public blockchain. But regardless of the varying type of stablecoin, they are intended to be fairly stable, so that will enable payments and remittances without the volatility of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. And then finally, we have the CBDCs, the acronym for the central bank digital currencies. This is the digital form of fiat money. Being, fiat money is currency that's established either by a government, by regulation, a monetary authority, or law. A central bank digital currency is a high security digital instrument, similar to like a paper note. Okay, it can be used as a form of payment, a unit of account, or a store of value. And just like paper notes, each unit is uniquely identifiable to prevent counterfeiting. So let's talk about what the rise of stablecoins. The global interest in stablecoins has grown significantly over the past 24 months. Now, from a market cap perspective, from a regulatory perspective, and obviously with the Libra announcement in June of last year, it's generating an enormous buzz from all sectors and also from governments and regulators alike. Volatility in the market resulted in the move to stablecoins as investors searched for an easy conversion way to float to cash in the event when crypto was seen too volatile. Global interest has definitely been a boon to the market, growing from zero to over $10 billion, and that's happened in a relatively short period of time, since around 2017. Tether, it continues to be the flagship stablecoin and accounts for most of the global market share, around about 80%. And it was created, as I said before, to be tethered to the US dollar as its digital equivalent. As I said before, with price stability, stablecoins are meant to offer a more practical medium of exchange for daily goods and services. Let's talk about Libra. Because of its unique structure, proposed regulatory framework, and very high profile, we believe that Libra can help accelerate digital assets regulation and facilitate some of the entry for institutional players in this space. It was originally going to be a currency or a basket of currencies backed with government debt securities. It had a global regulatory model with its original Libra being the currency, Calibra being the wallet. It's quite unique in its governance structure compared to traditional stablecoins or crypto. And obviously it's going to have profound effect on current economics and money services companies. Facebook was originally the force behind Libra, and we do believe it's going to be a very large disruptor because of its large user base. We have to remember that Facebook boasts, around 2.6 billion monthly active users, which is pretty crazy. Let's shift it up a bit and discuss the difference between Libra and other digital assets. Okay, so in front of on your screen displayed is a quick table to try and summarize the differences between Bitcoin, central bank digital currencies, and Libra as itself. If you look at some of these attributes that are displayed in front of you, we talk about the usage. The usage of Libra will be used by many, but notwithstanding cross-border payments, payments online, physical stores, it's going to have a huge amounts of high accessibility. We've touched on the user base. The network effect increases the enormous chance of market penetration. And as I said before, you have to keep in mind that Facebook's reach is absolutely massive. As I said before, in Q1 of 2020, Facebook had over 2.6 billion active users. That's 33% of the world's global population. And that's absolutely incredible, whether you like Facebook or not. That is absolutely incredible. Given that Libra will not be operating on a public blockchain, it will most likely mean that it is highly scalable. Okay, they'll have the ability to support a large number of users and transactions. There are, things aren't all rosy with new technology as always. There is a privacy concern. The use of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency doesn't always require user identification, though that is changing with the FATF travel rule. But historically, Bitcoin has been free to access, free to use without any KYC. With Libra, we will see a number of elements being discussed around privacy. So what's changed since the initial Libra announcement back in June of 2019? We then had Libra 2.0, So Libra 2.0 is a significant development that it now proposes to offer a single currency stablecoin. So maybe Libra USD, Libra Euro, Libra Pound, in addition to a multi-currency basket, which could potentially enable a seamless integration also to central bank digital currencies. The proposal also refined the Libra reserve. It changed Libra technology from permissionless to permissioned only, and it included safety enhancements with a robust compliance framework, which is going to be required if it has any chance of getting approval from the various regulators globally. At the time, at least 80% of the reserve would consist from short-term government securities issued by sovereigns that have a very low credit risk. So we're talking A+ S&P rating, Moody's A1 rating, or higher. And those securities trade in a very highly liquid secondary markets. The remaining 20% will be held in cash with overnight sweeps into money markets that invest in short-term government securities, the same risk and liquidity profiles. It's relatively early here in Hong Kong, and when I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning to prepare for the webinar, there had been some significant updates overnight, which obviously always makes a webinar a little bit challenging. Fortunately, our good friend Henry Arslanian from PwC has done a great job of already summarizing the main changes overnight. So shout out to Henry, thank you very much. The changes that have occurred over the past 10 to 12 hours is that the name of the Libra wallet, Calibra, has now just changed to Novi. Novi will be usable as a standalone app, as well as in Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Real huge amounts of penetration and access and user reach. There'll be no hidden charges to add to send, receive, or withdraw money, and your transfers will arrive instantly. Novi customers, as I said before, there will be an element of KYC, and in this case, it looks like they will be using a government-issued ID. Unsurprisingly, customers have access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we're still seeing Facebook hoping to launch this this year. So looking ahead, stable coins, they do definitely have the potential to revolutionize global payments and settlements. Facebook, Libra, Novi, Facebook themselves, to state one last time, it really has the size and the user numbers to disrupt digital assets and banking as we know it. You have to remember Facebook does conservatively reach at least 30% of every human being on this planet. That is incredible. And people doubt whether or not Libra has a chance of success. My counter to argue that was it's hard to fathom how this won't be a success, in my opinion, just given their enormous reach, accessibility, company valuation, the resources, the spend. For me, it ticks a lot of the boxes for it to be a success. The announcement of Libra's 2.0 release in June 2019 definitely made central banks nervous. But Libra has now made the necessary adjustments to push forward. We have to remember when Bitcoin was first introduced, a lot of people sort of dismissed it. It's difficult, whilst it might be easy to dismiss what has been seen as a fringe technology, albeit it is growing momentum with regulatory clarity, traditional finance adoption, and inclusion. The reality is when a tech company the size of Facebook comes out and says that they're going to release a token that can disrupt banks and payments as we have known it for the last 100 years, of course, central banks and regulators get very nervous. And finally, it's probably of no surprise that I have the opinion that Libra will be widely adopted as a catalyst for global digital asset use. It's expediting access to digital assets and digital payments to a huge number of individuals globally. It was funny when Libra was first announced. The Bitcoin naysayers were punching the air, declaring to me that this would be the death of Bitcoin. Frankly, I was actually punching the air in response because I see Libra offering the user experience that Bitcoin should have. But as a result of such a slick, thoughtless, and seamless user experience, it has expedited digital assets, including Bitcoin adoption by at least 10 years. So despite me being very pro-Bitcoin, I couldn't have been happier when Libra was first announced as a result of me believing it's going to be the on-ramps for a significant amount of people to get more comfortable with digital assets as a whole. Thank you for your time today. I would definitely welcome any questions. If you'd like to know more about us, you can contact us at osl.com. And obviously, there's additional contact details on the screen today.
Nice, Dave. Thanks so much for your keynote, and so very interesting insights about Libra. And yeah, so you mentioned Henry Arslanian, so he took place in our conference yesterday, so opening it. So
yeah, Henry was a lifesaver for me today.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for your keynote. Yeah, so that was Dave Chapman from BC Group and OSL. Thank you.